Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and today we'll be talking about the Tamil film Visaranai, which means interrogation, and I didn't realize until the end of the film that it is written and directed by Vetrimaaran. This film won an award at Venice Film Festival for national awards and was India's official entry for 89th Academy Awards. That speaks volumes about this film. But I don't think I have the similar opinion on the film, and I'll let you know why. First of all, this film is based on real events, so let us talk about the issues first, which is very important. This film is tackling a lot of relevant issues, police brutality being the main one, and we are seeing what's happening in America with the Black Lives Matter movement, how police is misusing their power. And we don't have to even look at America. It's all around the world and even in our own backyard. I talked about it in my Joker video essay, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Talking about the migrant workers, which many of us didn't know existed before the COVID pandemic. And everyone thinks that these migrant workers, people who don't have names, don't have IDs, they are not humans, they don't have human rights. And that's what the film explores. I knew there was some friction between Andhra and Tamil Nadu, but watching this film I realized there's much more going on. There's a lot of adversities between the two. And do let me know in the comments how much is it? Is it lessened now? It is very interesting to know that always in the north, I've heard people talk about, I have heard my parents, my relatives talk about that south is such a good place. They are well educated. Of course, they're talking about Kerala, but you know how people just say the whole south is just one for them. But there is a good talk about South Indians in North India, that they're well educated, they have less problems due to that. They don't have caste issues like we do in North. There's so much state versus state going on. And I hate that. I just hate why there's some state versus state competition. We are all Indians. Why there's so much unnecessary tension and aggression from two states? I don't get it at all. And it's not just states, it's not just the governments, it's the people itself. So do let me know in the comments how much that is true and if you have experienced anything like that. It's a famous line in India that neither be a friend or an enemy to the police. And this film really shows us why is that. In the first half, I thought it's about the Tamil-Telugu friction. But in the second half, we learn that the film is really about the interrogation, the police. It doesn't matter if you are from their own state or you are from different state. They'll do whatever suits them. And at the end, as the film says, 30% of the cases are just solved like this, forcefully. We don't even know what's the truth, and police just finish the case and no one raises a question. And we'll be okay with it until it happens to us. Because that's how we live, right? It is not a problem until it affects us. Now coming to the film, we need to detach it from the fact that it is based upon a book written by the author who went through this in real life, and just treat it as a film. So the first thing we need to talk about is the cinematography. Now again, Vetrimaaran bringing that rawness, always with the character, giving us a feel that we are present there. And we see a lot of that in Malayalam cinema too. Now there's a difference between the two. In Malayalam cinema, we are always present in the scene as if we are there itself. We are a character in the film. But in Vetrimaaran's film, we are overseeing what's happening. We are a third person. We are looking at everything from a top view perspective. You see there's a lot of drone shots in the film. We are observing the film as a viewer and not a participant, like in Malayalam films. Hope that makes sense. I really enjoyed the first half, but the second half went downhill for me. Now there can be multiple reasons for that. First reason is that until one of the fourth guys leave them, the whole story is very true to what really happened, because author was part of it and he know what happens. And after that, we get into some fictional part, and you can say mostly fictional part. This is all my assumptions. And when we get into that fictional part, the narrative starts to lose its grip and it starts to become unbelievable and forced. Also, when we get into the second part, I already know the idea behind it. I know that the film is now trying to show that how even Tamil Nadu police will use these guys for their benefit. So when I already know what's gonna happen, the film starts to drag, because I know the end goal. I'm just waiting for the film to come to it fast, but it just starts to drag. Now I don't blame the film for it at all. I understand why they had to do that, because they had to build all of it. But for me, knowing what is gonna happen, it started to becoming boring and started to drag. The climax was also a letdown for me. I understand why we're spending so much time between the characters. They're trying to build the tension. When both the characters are in the pit, it's just pure silence. We're just waiting something to happen. We're just waiting. And I understand it builds tension. And you can use a lot of elements for it. You can use rapid editing to build that tension. You can use background music. You can do a lot of things. But here they chose silence, which didn't really help me, because it felt just bland for me. It's like nothing is happening. I'm getting irritated. And that's just me. Maybe it worked for everyone else, but for me, it didn't work. Now the next point will be very controversial, because the film won a national award for editing, but I didn't like it. There was a lot of places where I felt the editing was a little choppy. There were some visual jerks. Going from one scene to the other, it was not seamless, and that breaks your concentration. Again, maybe it's just me, but that's what I felt. Now the next point can be a creative decision, but for me it didn't work as a creative decision. It just irritated me more. There were a lot of times when the sound was just abruptly cut, and again it distracted me. Many times the dialogue were not in sync with the lips, and when you notice these things, it takes you out of the film, and I cannot help it. Sorry guys. There's a decision taken in the climax to show some scenes in black and white. So do let me know in the comments, why do you think they did that? The acting was solid throughout, the cast did really good job, but there was one actor who was just going overboard for me. The Tamil Nadu police officer who was working with the political party. There were some of his scenes which just came out as overacting, and it was totally off compared to the other actors. There was one interesting thing I noticed: the way the Andhra police inspector was shot. The bald guy was beating them up. He was given very mass film kind of treatment. Him walking in slow-mo, showing him walking with his foot slowly. But I think they were kind of commenting on how, mass films romanticize the police. I think that was clever, if that was intended. So guys, that's it. At the end, it was a good movie, but not the best for me. Now that doesn't mean the film is not good. It won prestigious awards. It was an official entry for Oscars. So definitely there's something in there. But this was my opinion. So guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button, comment below, share this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, check out other videos. If you like them too, do consider subscribing. And I'll see you next time. Stay home, stay safe.